1019
KACQ. I'm Casey Chapman here with your local Lampasas area news. This newscast is service of Hoff Power Polaris. It was another relatively easy day for LPD yesterday. Officers started out their morning responding to a disturbance in the 1900 block of Grand Canyon Drive in the 10 o'clock hour. It stayed quiet up until mid-afternoon when dispatchers sent them out on a home burglary in the 200 block of South Rice and a harassment complaint in the 1500 block of East 3rd. Officers were sent out to cool off a couple of domestic disturbances, both of them in the 1100 block of East 4th within hours of each other. A public intoxication call came in from the 900 block of East Central Texas Expressway, and dispatchers had them check out a suspicious vehicle at W.M. Brook Park just before midnight last night. No arrests were made by the city or the county. Lomita rolled out on a burglary in progress. Kempner went out on a criminal mischief call. County deputies cleared a wreck, settled a disturbance, and checked out a suspicious person. Stick around, more Lampasas local area news and Ken Gontarek with your cattle market report coming up next.
When you have big toys, you need a big toy box to haul and store that big toy. You know, big toys from Hoff Power, like Polaris Ranger, Can-Am, four-wheelers, zero-turn bad boy mowers, and all your hunting and fun gear. Hallmark trailers and cargo, race, car, motorcycle, ATV, specialty, and stacker trailers. Hallmark and Hoff Power. You get more and go further. Great financing to qualified buyers and anxious salesmen to help you. Hoff Power Outdoor Superstore, Goldthwaite, 2124 Highway 84, 325-648-3341, or see them at hpolaris.com.
It was a mixed market yesterday at the Lampasas cattle auction. 893 head went through the ring. That was up from last week's sale of 745 and up from a year ago's 316. Compared to last week, light calves were steady. Feeders were $3 to $5 higher. On the slaughter cows, $2 to $4 lower, and the slaughter bulls remained steady. On the steer side, 2 to 300 pounds went from $1.35 to $1.82 a pound. 3 to 4s, $1.49 to $1.90. 4 to 500 pounds, $1.36 to $1.69 a pound. 5 to 600 pound steers, $1.19 to $1.55. 6 to 7s went from $1.07 to $1.43, and the 7 to 8s capped it off with $1.13 to $1.32 a pound. On the heifer side, 2 to 300 pounders went from $1.25 to $1.48. 3 to 4s, $1.28 to $1.56. 4 to 500 pounds, $1.21 to $1.40 a pound. 5 to 600 pound heifers went from $1.10 to $1.37. 6 to 700 pounders, $1.04 to $1.32, and the 7 to 8s went from 96 cents to $1.17 a pound. On the slaughter cow side, under 800 pounds went from 15 to a quarter, 800 to 11, 25 to 47, and the 11 to 1,300 pounds went from 46 to 63 cents a pound. On the slaughter bulls, 1,000 to 1,300 pounds, 60 to 69 cents a pound, 13 to 21, 68 to 92. And on the bred replacement cows, the baby tooth went from 550 to 1,000 a head, while the solid mouse went from 500 to 850 per head. No test on the cow-calf pairs. Ken Gontarek, Lampasas Radio News.
For your sports, the Badgers hit the road today to head to the bi-district playoff game against the Coyotes in Fredericksburg. Lampasas will be the home team. Tickets are still available for the game, but if you can't make it to the game, you can tune into Lampasas Radio or go online to lampasasradio.com to hear Darell Brooks and Randy Morris give you the play-by-play action live. Pre-game show at 6:30, kickoff at 7. And tune in Monday morning at 7:45 for the Bancorp Coaches Show with Darell Brooks and Badger head coach Troy Rogers for a recap of tonight's game.
Go Badgers! Lampasas Badgers hit the road tonight as they head to Fredericksburg to take on the Uvalde Coyotes. Uvalde comes in, they are 2-8. They're the number 4 team out of District 14. But they're kind of riding high right now as they come up with a big win over Somerset. Of course, Lampasas is number 2 ranked team in the district, number 2 ranked team in the state. They're looking to advance to the next round as they're looking for, win number 1. But Uvalde's looking for win number 1 as well. So it could be a fun game. Of course, Lampasas, they're led by Ace Whitehead. He's 94 for 148, 1,509 yards, 24 touchdowns, so only 2 interceptions. They haven't thrown the ball quite as well as they did last year, but when they need it, they've thrown really well. He's thrown for 3 touchdowns in the last 3 games, so he's starting to pick it up as that passing game's starting to pick up. Whitehead also has 858 yards on the ground and 13 touchdowns. He's averaging 9.8 yards a carry. Yeah, he'll scramble when he gets in trouble when he's trying to throw, but they also have some design runs for him. Did really well last week on those design runs. Expect to see some of that. I expect Jack Jerome to go over the 1,000-yard mark this week. He has 932 yards and 9 touchdowns on the year. in a shortened year after only 8 games. I expect him to have a big night. I would be surprised if he doesn't go over 100 yards tonight and to get over 1,000 for the season. Wouldn't be terribly surprised if Whitehead did the same thing, sitting at 858. As far as receivers, Michael Murray, 763 yards, 14 touchdowns on the year. He had 3 last week. So he's had some big games. Expect him to come up big again. Lane Haviland probably won't play in this game. He got banged up a little bit in the last game, so he's probably not going to play. Expect to see Carter Johnson step into his position. He's another big, tall, lanky receiver. He's a sophomore. He's about 6'3", about 190 pounds. I hope to see him step in and pick up where Lane Haviland was. Then also you got Ethan Marino. I expect to see him be more involved in the passing game this week, as he has a couple of touchdowns on 185 yards. He's been kind of the forgotten man over the last couple of weeks. As early in the season, he was getting some catches, and then they forgot about him. Then he got back involved in the game again. And then the last couple of weeks, he's been involved in the running game some, but not so much in the passing game. I expect him to have a big part of the offense, and I wouldn't be surprised if he has a breakout night, picks up 1 or 2 touchdowns as well. So it's going to be an exciting game as both of these teams looking for playoff victory. As far as that goes, they're going to play the winner of, whoever wins this will play the winner of Corpus Christi Miller or La Furia, as they're playing on Friday night. So it's going to be interesting to see who comes out with a win and who they're going to play next week. So with that, send it back to you.
Road crews will wrap up paving today on Avenue E between Ridge and Porter. A new Texas legislative session starts in January, and the tricky topic of gun regulation will once again be up for debate.
Hundreds of bills have been filed for the upcoming session, and the proposed gun legislations go from the extreme, like banning assault weapons, to the more mundane, like tax exemptions for safety supplies. Ed Scruggs with Texas Gun Sense says there's also a bill to ban large-capacity magazines,
which could possibly save lives. It basically is just to interrupt the flow of the shooting event.
He says, though it's unlikely to pass, they're focusing on so-called red flag laws, which allow family members to ask a judge for someone's guns to be temporarily removed if they are deemed a danger. Michael Board, TSN News.
For your COVID-19 update, as of yesterday, there were over 137,000 estimated active cases of the virus in Texas. That's up 5,000 from yesterday, and Texas just topped the 19,000 mark in fatalities, with 19,004. Over 826,000 Texans have recovered from the virus so far, and that number is up 5,000 from the previous day. Around the region, Bell County is up 88 with 7,088. Coryell County jumped up 34 with 2,111. Burnett added 19 with 1,164. Mills up 8 with 109. San Saba added 1 with 261, and Hamilton jumped up 10, now with 240 total cases. The number of total cases also includes those who have recovered, and keep in mind that the number of spikes could be a result of increased testing and/or late reporting. Here locally, as of this morning, Lampasas County was showing 456 total cases, with 22 of those being active. And the number of fatalities stands at 11. One Texas population is at higher risk of getting COVID-19 than almost any other. TSN Barbara Schwartz explains.
That's inmates and prison workers. A report out of UT Austin shows Texas inmates are testing positive at a rate 40% higher than the national prison population. At least 212 inmates and 21 employee deaths have been linked to the virus. Lead researcher Michelle Deitch says,
we can't just look the other way about what's happening. Not only is it people in custody who are dying, but it's staff who are dying. We really have to do something to get this under control.
She says no prisoners have gotten a compassionate release. Inmates over 55 make up 4 in 5 deaths, and Deitch adds over half the people who died in prison were eligible for parole. More than 25,500 inmates and nearly 5,900 employees have been infected. Barbara Schwartz, TSN News.
Thank you to our viewers. We will see you again tomorrow. I'm Casey Chapman here with your local Lampasas area news.
1019 KACQ.